Wrestling review for Monday Night Raw episode January 20th, 2014. And yeah, Batista came back. I want to get right to it. What the fuck was this guy wearing? Okay, he comes out, he looks shaved, total body wax, skinny jeans, this ridiculous, what was that, a tracksuit shirt? I don't know what the hell it was. He looked straight out of the 1980s wearing that goddamn suit shirt with the collar popped up. So fucking tight on him. It looked ridiculous. I mean, the only way he could have gone any farther was just to come out with the word douchebag like taped across his fucking chest. You know, like a sash that said douchebag just going around him. That's the only way it could have been worse. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start with Triple H and Stephanie and fucking Randy Orton. Okay, the show starts... Triple H, Stephanie, they're about to introduce Batista. Randy Orton comes out. And then Stephanie proceeds, and Triple H too, they both proceed to put themselves over the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, longest fucking name for a title ever. That pisses me off. Why do Triple H and Stephanie have to make themselves bigger and more important than everything? Than anything else that's going on in the show? Why is that? Why do they have to be bigger and better than Randy Orton? Why do they have to be bigger and better than Daniel Bryan? Than the Big Show? Not that I give a shit about the Big Show, but it happened there too. They did it to Dolph Ziggler. They did it to the Shield, like they were ordering the Shield around. Shield were lackeys for them for a while. It's everywhere. They put themselves in these situations, like whatever angle they need to be in to be on TV, and then they make themselves bigger and better than whoever else is there. It doesn't matter if they're a heel or a face. Doesn't fucking matter. I read recently that Vince McMahon had a meeting where he said, we don't want to do heels and baby faces anymore. We want everybody to just be, everywhere. Just blur the line, I guess. I don't know. Let me tell you, for Vince, for Triple H and Stephanie, the fucking shit ain't working. It's pissing me off because it just puts them on TV whenever they want to be, and they can be whatever they want to be, whether they're for the crowd or against them, for the other person in the ring or not, but they always have to be bigger and better than whoever's there, and lately it's been Randy Orton, but it doesn't matter who it would be, it's fucking pissing me off. That's not the only thing that pissed me off about this. Let's talk about continuity, storyline continuity. For months in the fall, the story was Stephanie McMahon and Triple H thought that Randy Orton was not aggressive enough. They wanted him to go back to being that pissed off, crazy ass guy that would just run around hurting people, doing ridiculously violent shit. Now, even though that thing with John Cena's dad was fucking weak, that's what you're going to get in the PG as ridiculously violent. So now that he's back to being that way, they immediately are like, you're too aggressive. You're too violent. When you could probably go back 4 weeks ago, they were complaining that he wasn't aggressive enough. That makes no sense. There's no continuity there. It's fucking stupid. It goes to show that they come up with this shit like week to week, the week to week basis. What's the point of trying to follow and get invested in a story or angle when the pieces of it keep changing? The end game might be what they was originally supposed to be, but you're fucking all over the place, zigzagging around like a goofball just to fucking get there. Alright, so Batista did come out. Okay, he got a nice pop. It wasn't earth-shattering. I think a lot of people were just confused by the way he looked, because it was pretty fucking confusing to me. So he basically says he's back to be the champ. Nothing fancy, but it didn't need to be fancy. After that, we got our first match of the night. Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and Biggie Langston versus The Shield. This was a pretty solid match. I pretty much enjoyed it from beginning to end. There was a lot of action, kept me entertained. Seth Rollins won the match with that cool running head stomp finisher that he does sometimes. He did it to Biggie Langston, got the pin. It was pretty good stuff. And I think Roman Reigns also had a good spot in there where he did his Superman punch to Cody Rhodes, who was coming off the rope for the disaster kick, caught him in midair. Looked pretty fucking cool. Next up, Daniel Bryan comes out. Huge yes chance. Huge Daniel Bryan chance. Then Daniel Bryan proceeds to cut the promo where it's what I was thinking could possibly happen, where he says that it was all his plan all along to join the Wyatts, wait for that moment to strike Bray when he was alone with him, and then he did it last week, carried it out, and that doesn't make any fucking sense. The way it happened, the way it all went down, and then for him to come out and give that as the reason, I know he's just reading off the script, but you could tell it was half-assed. You could tell they were planning something, and then they switched it around at the last minute. It was either supposed to go on longer until he did his face turn, or maybe he was supposed to stay a heel forever. And then they canceled it because he was too fucking popular. Whatever, the reasoning behind it was bullshit. I'm just happy he's a face again. But then we get the announcement that it's going to be Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble. And when Daniel Bryan made this announcement, he sounded like he wasn't even going to be participating in the Royal Rumble. He's like, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, they're in the Rumble, which leaves Bray Wyatt by himself, so I'm going to have my match with him. So does that mean if Daniel Bryan has that match, it takes him out of the Rumble? What fucking sense is that? Why would you keep the most popular guy in the company out of the Royal Rumble? I don't know, man. That is just fucking ludicrous to me. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. That baffles my mind. And they don't even want to come up with like a good reason for the WWE. They just don't want to put him in the Rumble. Xavier Woods versus Fandango. Super fast squash match. Fandango won. This match was pretty pointless. But you know what? I actually didn't mind it. I actually miss a squash match like this, where it's super fucking fast, it's out there, it's 5 minutes or less, one guy wins, and then you move on to something else. Not like some other squash matches, which I'm going to get here to in a little bit, where they go on for fucking ever. Next up, we got a segment between Kane and CM Punk, where Kane has to apologize to CM Punk for chokeslamming him on SmackDown. I don't care about this Kane CM Punk stuff. Anyway, CM Punk, he says he's sorry too, and then he runs up and hits him with the microphone. I like that. I thought that was fun. And then we get CM Punk versus Billy Gunn right after that. And I like this match. Yeah, it wasn't super technical or anything like that. I liked it mainly because they incorporated Road Dogg, who was doing commentary. They brought him into the mix with CM Punk just turning, running out to the announcer's table to jump him and attack him. That was pretty fun. And then he just kept coming back into the match, but CM Punk still overcame the odds, and he won with the GTS. So overall, I did enjoy this match. Oh, and then they made the announcement that Punk was going to be the first entrant into the Royal Rumble, but I already knew he wasn't going to win. He's got another date at WrestleMania with Triple H. A fucking stinker. Alright, so up next we get the video package from Mae Young. I didn't even realize that Mae Young passed away. I didn't get to check any kind of wrestling news feeds over the weekend. I did not know that this had happened. So it's kind of sad. But they did a very nice video package. And after that we had Alberto Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio. Again. So Del Rio has to face Fake Cara like 5 fucking times, and now he's got to face Rey Mysterio, I guess 3 times if you count the match on SmackDown. Jesus Christ. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a squash match that gets dragged out for 10, 15 fucking minutes, and it just becomes boring because you know who's going to win, you know what's going to happen. Yeah. And if the show were 2 hours long instead of 3, this match would have only been 5 minutes, 5 minutes or less. Instead, because it's 3 hours, they got to stretch it out. Why? Because they have to fill time. It's filler, it's padding, that's all it is. But you know exactly what's going to happen. So yeah, Del Rio wins with the cross arm breaker, just like before, big fucking deal. But then we get something, Batista comes out after the match. Good stuff here. He basically just attacks Del Rio and goes right into the Batista bomb, which was nice to see. Was pretty cool. Put him over as being a badass. Put Batista over. That's great. Let it end there. Please don't have Del Rio be the guy to eliminate Batista at the Rumble, which turns into a match at WrestleMania, because I don't want to see Batista versus Del Rio at WrestleMania. That would be a fucking waste. We already have one waste with Punk going against Triple H. I don't want to see Batista get fucking wasted too. Oh, up next we get the Big Show. Big Show doing more imitations like he used to do back in the day, except now he's doing Paul Heyman. It seemed like Big Show was getting winded. Like if you catch the end of him during the first part of the segment where he's calling out Brock Lesnar, when he's getting to the end of that last sentence, he's like, get your ass out here. He's like fucking dying on that mic, like he needs to sit down and have a fucking bottle of water and towel off. Jesus Christ. So then Brock Lesnar does come out there. He gets down to the ring, takes forever to get there, and then turns around and walks away, and then comes back out, walks back down. It was fuck. You know what? You know what's going to happen at the Sunday at the Royal Rumble? You're going to get some boring chants. First time Brock Lesnar's gotten boring chants since that awful, awful match at WrestleMania 20 between him and Goldberg. I saw that shit live. That was pathetic. But it's going to happen again here. If this Rumble match is more than 5 minutes long, it's not just Brock Lesnar F5ing Big Show and just beating his fucking ass, you're going to get boring chants. That match is going to fucking suck if it lasts longer than 5 minutes. Right after that, we had a Diva Garbage match. Skipped it. Up next, we got ourselves the Wyatts versus the Usos. This match was okay. It was kind of boring for me. I wasn't really feeling it. The crowd didn't seem like they were too into it either. There wasn't much of a reaction as far as I could tell. That fucking submission move that Rowan does, where he takes his fists and he's supposed to be like squeezing a guy's head, looks ridiculous. Looks fucking stupid. You got a guy sitting there going, how fucking stupid did that Uso look? Go back and watch the video. He looked like a goddamn moron. Like the other guy, he has that kind of gator roll maneuver. That looks cool. That's neat. Not this guy coming in and squeezing a dude's head. That is fucking stupid. I sit there and I can't show that to somebody who's not a wrestling fan. They'll be like, what the fuck is he doing in there? It looks like the guy that's getting the move put on him is trying to take a fucking shit, but he can't do it. Dumb, man. It's fucking dumb. Whoa, our main event. Our main event of the evening, Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. And all of this was the only purpose of it was to build up to the Orton-Cena confrontation, which means more filler. More fucking filler. Filler in your main event of the show right before a pay-per-view. One of the big pay-per-views of the year. Come on. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this main event feud. It's gonna be garbage. If it goes on last at the pay-per-view, it's gonna fucking suck. But anyway, Orton eventually does show up, and hey, does he have some new fucking merchandise? Absolutely. Does it look fucking stupid? You bet your ass it does. Looks worse than usual. Look like, I don't know, man. Looked like a cartoon character threw up all over him. It was like different shades of green, and I think purple was in there. Looked like a retarded Christmas tree. And then Orton just runs away. He just spends the whole time running away from John Cena like he's too scared to fight him. He takes off in somebody's car or something at the end of the show. It sucks. Overall, this Raw, I'm giving it a D+. It really wasn't that great. There was a whole lot of garbage on this show. The only thing that really saved it was Batista, but even that was kind of deflated because he came out looking like a gigantic douchebag. And the fact that Bryan probably isn't even going to be in the Rumble on Sunday, well, that's just one big fucking disappointment. Alright, guys, that's it. JB Squared 61279. I'm going to be back at some point this week to do a Royal Rumble predictions video, so you can check that out, and I will see you guys then.